All right, greetings. Okay. Yeah, it's not on Rumble because Rumble's not working today. Yeah. Funny, when I was using Rumble, it worked every time, and now it's not working at all. So, so I have questions to answer still on the site. My energy is wiped out, so I'll have to just start up tomorrow. So, all right, so this is Reptilians at the Gate. For some reason that name came in, so I was like, okay, we just go with that. I think some people want to hear from the Reptilians, so I'll go in that direction. So it's a fake alien disclosure energy that's going on right now. Some are always prophecies, and you can get lost with all of it. The cults that are rising up, the rise of the cult era that we're in right now. Jeez. Just waiting for the new Jesus to show up. The Jesus cult, I'm not sure if one's really showed up, sort of, but not like full Jesus. Not yet. I'm not sure if we're working on towards that or not, but also Dune, Paul Atreides. So Dune is, the movie or the book is connected to Anunnaki, but not necessarily the Anunnaki that's trying to intertwine and marry within each other, like marry your sister or something like that. There might be some of that, but overall, this is about survival. Watching, like civilizations be wiped out, things like that. Not that it's going to happen to this world. We're not lucky that way. No, this world's going to last forever, as long as it needs to be here. But even Dune has a lot of. I think it has a lot of. I can never get fully through the movie, but all these religious, kind of the words that come into mind. Anyway, all these religious type of thinking and, prophecies. We're not the only ones with prophecies, things like that. So it doesn't mean that's not what they're going to talk about. I think some of it has to do about survival, like watching her own race be wiped out, things like that. And the Spice is about getting like all these powers and all that. So, of course, the modern Dune movie, of course, the book is like longer than anything. So, the Dune movie is like part 1 and there's part 2. That's where all the fun stuff is. And Tenet is another movie. Might as well keep this thing a little bit more exciting. The Inverted. Of course, that movie didn't make a whole lot of sense. I don't think they knew what they were talking about. Like the movie itself became inverted. Because it became so convoluted, they don't even know what the hell they're talking about. That's another version of Earth that's connecting to us. So when they make a movie like that, it's also Inception. But Tenet is a recent one during 2020. And it's just the timing of that. Like another version of Earth is talking to us, through movies, but still kind of a big deal. And the movie didn't do too well, obviously, because everything was, the world was on fire. But you can say like Tenet, having another version of Earth talk to us like that, talked about things being inverted. Like if you shoot a gun, the bullet comes back. I don't know. Even I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, the movie was kind of convoluted. Like everything was happening backwards or something like that. We'll see where we get with that. Yeah, because it's kind of like almost like a paradox reality, something like that. Just a reality where it gets lost. It's just like ours. Ours is pretty lost too. So our reality is a little bit inverted itself. Yeah, soul growth is for sure. Soul growth that eventually humanity will snap out of it, maybe. Well, just that it doesn't have to tear itself apart. Yeah, we are a reflection of the government and everything. Not everybody, but it's the government's reflection of the people. Basically, the corruption here is a reflection of not everybody, but a good amount. So to heal that is not easy. Yeah, not to judge it. Uh, Far from that, because it's like discovering your dark side is a beautiful thing. It's just rough for everybody in the world. It's a little bit consuming, soul consuming. I mean, it is a good thing to let that out, but being around it's another story, though. Especially if your family members are beating the crap out of your kids and so on and so on. You go on with that. So nuns that have to deal with abuse through the priests and all that. Yeah, that's a mess. Surprised this world's last as long as it has, actually. So, but yeah, the reptilian energy is not to blame the reptilians for fake alien invasions or anything like that. Not to say they're not involved with it. Well, they test us. They poke us. They want to see what they're messing with us to see where we are. Not necessarily. I mean, yes, some are probably being evil to us at a certain level, but others they're just testing us to get it out of our system. If you need to be dark, go be dark. If you need to be confused, you need to join a cult, join it. We're watching. Are they judging? Not really. They're just waiting for us to mature so we can connect to the higher realms, the alien beings on a positive level. Well, it's not going to be perfect, but where we can upgrade ourselves, but we're just so far from it. Yeah, when we stop all the infighting, that's when the aliens start to show up. When basically, humanity becomes a little bit more, not all of it, but a good amount where it comes kind of like in the middle, as I talked about before, like chills out a good portion of it. Like you see government corruption right now. That finally, it's like, okay, we did that. And now we're not perfect, but we're trying to do a good job. Right now, they're just like, screw everybody. Right now, always. And the people here are all complaining about it. Just whatever. We've seen that movie. Well, that's what the star children here. Of course, they're not perfect either. But eventually, the hippie kids that are maybe not this generation, it might be a couple more generations where they just don't want to put up with this anymore. Of course, they'll have some backlash with that. Just not trying to control, but just kind of done with it all. The system. We kind of see that sort of right now, but not at the level that we can see it at. And it's not just about the aliens, it's just about the reality that we're living in. It's a good Shakespearean play, you can say. I mean, movies are so shot right now, are so dead that they can't make a movie about it because they're so screwed up. It'd make a great movie. Living it, not great. Make a movie about it because it's a reflection of us. Maybe that's what we need. So we can finally, not everybody, but some can finally. It's like, wow, am I acting like that? Is that really happening? Are we that ridiculous here? Of course, others might just get insulted by that. Whatever. Do as you must. The rampage continues. It's how we tell that we have private sessions. We have a scheduler. We have a shop here. The webinar, social network behind the scenes. Okay, just making sure all systems go. I just make sure my audio is working. That's all. So far, so good. Yeah, it's a little bit dark in the background, but it's actually pretty well lit up anyway, it doesn't matter. So you just can't tell here. So, all right, so we go to Reptilians at the Gate. It's kind of a funny title. Let's just make it fancy. Dune, Atreides, and Tenet. Jeez. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. With Tenet, of course, I imagine people are not familiar with that. Well, maybe let me show it just in case people don't know what they were talking about. Just real quick here. Just for those that have no idea what I'm talking, I figured people would know, but not everybody will know. So of course you got Dune. Well, it's the same one. A big sandworm. Yeah, they're looking for the spice. That's nice. Just a big giant sandworm, just to warm up your day. And Tenet. Yeah, it's all convoluted. Don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, it's like two different versions of them. Yeah, he has to wear when they're inverted, he has to have a gas mask because there's no air. Man, gotta take the fun out of the whole thing. Yeah, some of those movies are a little bit too sciencey, you can say. It's kind of take the fun out of it, but it's not different though. Take what we can get. All right, so going to Reptilians. All right, blessings. Here you go. Novak. Yeah, we'll see. All right, blessings. Greens, we have the reptilian consciousness. Novak will tune in later. As for the fake alien invasions, well, it's really to see what your world will do. It's a test. It's also see what your government will do. It's just basic. I mean, the aliens are always been here. Even during your World War II when you had nuclear bombs. It's not like we're completely clueless. We know exactly what's happening. We're not incompetent of it. Humans here are not completely, they might not have known about the bomb in World War II, but not everybody knew. But humanity's not that lost. It's lost, but it's not incompetent completely. Let's put it that way. Let's put it this way. To go back a little bit, World War II, after the atomic bomb, humanity wanted a better energy. Maybe it went a little bit to the extreme, like in the 1950s, became too materialistic, kind of too lost, more reliant on things. Now, this is all new. It's like living in a science fiction movie. And notice how a lot of it has stopped. Like you're still living off of 1950s technology. Yes, it's been upgraded, but not much has really changed. The lifestyle has changed a little bit. But overall, you're still kind of living in a bubble. Well, it's just that technology hasn't really advanced itself. Yes, you might have a phone in your pocket. That's more like a tracker in your pocket. And it's communications through AI now. Well, it's through society has become more distant, and that's been frustrating for many of you. It's not as like you just go somewhere and talk to somebody. It's not like that anymore. So now you have to talk through an app, which is kind of going backwards when you think about it. Not most of you probably don't want that, but society kind of adapted that through the manipulations. But that's a test of society too. It's all just see what you will put up with. As for alien invasions and all that, not likely. but you'll see fake ones most likely through just the media, because the media, like the world of the wars, it's similar to that where you're going through now, a modernized version of it, talking about UFOs, but it's just not as entertaining. Which a lot of people believe there was an invasion, but you're kind of getting like the Diet Coke version of it. Like the government says UFOs, and then they go quiet, and then back to nothing, and then have all this conspiracy. It's like the worst type of UFO disclosure ever, because it's like, it's not put into your, it's not in front of you so you can examine it. Look, instead it's all hidden. It's the worst type of alien disclosure you can ever have. Where, of course, there's a lot out there. It's just being hidden. It just takes the fun out of everything. Yeah, and it's all done by design, of course. Well, because the government here, and there is a government influence, and they just don't know what to do with it. They are still as puzzled as he meant. I mean, they have a little bit more insight, yes, but very few do actually. And they don't want their careers to be ruined. It's all about power, but also they don't know what to do. So what's this? Greetings, this is Novak. Greetings. Oh, alien disclosure will be absolutely hilarious to see that here. I want all the pictures. Because humans don't know what to do. Some will be laughing their asses off, and others will be so lost and confused. Yes, that's not funny. It really is, especially the religious groups that will go crazy. Religious groups will just say it's a Satan here coming and taking you and all these things. And yeah, you don't really need that. Some of you that are more UFO experts, you can say, in your own level. Religion, some of you don't count in religion in the mind there. Of course, even some spiritual groups feel like the aliens are going to take you to a better paradise. So you have religions that are terrified of aliens because tell everybody it's the devil. Then you have your alien religious groups that feel like the aliens are going to take you somewhere better. And they might pretend it's better. And just another control group. Now that can happen just with the energy hijacking, which does happen here, where people do get hijacked vibrationally and pulled into a cult. So, yeah. For disclosure, so your world right now, obviously, Ohio is being kept away from you for obvious reasons. It's now a bizarre alien experiment. Yes, it's not obviously for the positive, but it's not good. It's like they don't care about humanity at all there. It's not necessarily the government, it's more of a shadow government frequency there at this time. So it's there's always someone more powerful high up, and they're just examining the area and all that. Will they ever clean it up? Possibly. Not quickly, not anytime soon, because they want to see what the chemicals do to people also. It's not good. Sorry, we'll just leave you with all that. Your alien disclosures, let's go have a nice alien disclosure hat, t-shirt, and promote your own version of it. Greetings to you. I am Paul Atreides. This is part of my consciousness here. Yes, it's about survival. Yes, it's about being eaten by a creature. Yes, the sound. It's about beings that have more powerful than you to take you over. So, yeah, Dune is about power, really, when it comes down to it. Of course, the power struggle is more alien. It's not always showing in the books or in the movies itself. It's basically alien creatures that are more advanced, that already have like this spice or their DNA already advanced already, where they can conquer worlds, conquer realities. And basically, my family is doing everything it can for survival purposes before we get taken over. So, yes, eaten or be eaten type of situation. Without, yes, the family, there is families, yes, but not without Anunnaki families that are extremely comfortable, nothing else to do with themselves. That's when they start to intermarry and all of that. But their DNA is designed where they can handle it. Your world obviously is not, but they did try it on your planet, of course. Well, for the Anunnaki to control it, but they can't do that. Well, they try, like people marrying to their cousins and all of that, but still not interwoven. But they know the DNA, the bloodlines are very powerful here. They want to keep it in the family, of course. But the Anunnaki doesn't have a full connection over your planet because they can't interbreed. If they interbreed, yeah, that's, I wouldn't call it game over, but it's more of an Anunnaki influence. Obviously, you have some of that, but you have a lot of influences from Sirius, Orion. A lot of it is from Sirius, of just even dictatorships. Of course, you don't hear that from Sirius very often. Well, in Sirius, there's many powerful beings there. They come here and make themselves king. Of course, humans here are so shut off. They don't look at Egypt. So, and then of course they become corrupt. I mean, basically, for Syrian beings, they come here because they can be a god, and it's still happening. Some Palladians do it, but Palladians usually do it for relationship purposes, not necessarily for power. Yeah, it's not always for a negative reason either. Basically, Palladians are basically your hippies. There's a mixture of that with other. There's some Syrians that want to be a hippie too, and it's been working out. Of course, there's some feline beings. You can say some feline beings are actually the most hippie out of all of them. Of course, you just don't hear about that. I mean, there are some felines that are just absolutely just control freaks. You can see some of the cats are, but well, there have their reasons. Felines can sometimes be the most spiritual beings, even in this universe. They really, and yeah, they might not make a whole lot of sense. You might have a cat, yes, that's urinating on all your stuff. Maybe they're too spiritual. They knock your stuff down, they knock you in the face, whatever it is. It's all about moving the vibrations, like energy experts. The dogs are also similar, but they're a little bit more toned down. They're more into the physical, as you can see, because they're barking at people because they can go kick someone's ass. Cats, not really. It's like they know when they're outmatched. But a dog is basically like a human with four legs and a protector. Of course, a little dog, they don't always know that they're little. They actually talk pretty big, so sometimes they're aware of their height. Many aren't. So, but yeah, dogs are more connected to the physical realm, so they can just because they really do see themselves as people. As some of you have noticed. So it's like they wish they had two legs. Some of them do, not all of them. Some of them just know if they're their dog, they can rule the place, which they get away with, and so on. But as for my reality, it's yes, worlds that you can say the Dune is kind of like a family that's coming from a dying planet and trying to survive. Now, your planet, many Dune people are here, yes. And they kind of feel like this world's following the same direction, but not necessarily. And Dune or the planet I come from, is similar to like a planet X, but it's not there to cause difficulties or anything. But some planets are used for weaponization, though. And your planet, at one time, was very peaceful. Was it used as a dark planet? Well, other universes it was. Just like humans. Your planet was just very dark at one time. Obviously, it's dark now, but it was kind of like a leading, superpower at one time. It kind of is, but it's more for soul growth in this reality. So it's not there to be negative. It's just exploring itself like anybody else would. It's like anybody else to see, oh, this is the dark side of myself. This is the light side of myself. The world's doing it just like you. Greetings. This is energy of Tenet. We are a shape shifting race. Yes, we go forwards, backwards. We also become objects. Of course, in a human, if you're a human in a Tenet reality or inverted reality, we don't really recommend that, but you can do it as a human. But as an entity, you can become anything. So it's a shape shifting reality. Yes, you can go forwards, backwards. You can go all sorts of places. And some of you really, basically, you can, yes, take human form, but you can also change to other forms also. So you're not fully human. You can be, but you're just basically kind of not necessarily like a trickster being, but there are trickster beings in this realm. The Tenet realm is in the black holes, but not entirely. Some worlds are just inverted, they're just backwards, but they can make it work. Some of them are usually type creature, type alien beings that are there. If they take a human, like they're inverted, they're a creature. When they go switch to your reality, some of them can look human. So yeah, so if you put more inversion here, a lot of humans would just turn alien here. So it's like kind of turning off your lights or shifting the energy of your lights so you can unmask it. So yeah, my realm is not going to make a whole lot of sense to many. Some of you will understand it. It's like some realities are not meant to be figured out. It's like answering a question with a question. It's like some realities are just going to keep you asking questions, and you might not even make any a lot of sense. Making quite you might, yeah. You can also change identities, meaning like maybe if you're a father of three, and all of a sudden you're the child of you're the kid and no longer the father. Energy shift, just like that. So it's like inverted worlds are, yeah, it's like here. So you incarnate here. Let's use the example as a father, and you just live that life or a parent. But in inverted worlds, yeah, you do that. Then, like, if you're a parent, then you like want to get this job selling radios or something. You get another job doing something else. Maybe you want to get a divorce and connect to somebody else. There are inverted worlds where you're the parent for a while, and all of a sudden you're the kid, and then all of a sudden you're the mother. And all of a sudden you're the family member, like friends of the family. You switch around like that instead. Let that one sit with you for a while. And you keep bouncing around until you find a place you want to be. Yeah, you say, wow, that person is interesting. I should jump into that person. And you kind of switch. So, yeah, there's an agreement between that. You're not just possessing someone, no. Well, you're agreeing to like time jumping, you can say, or body jumping, however you want to word it.